giving you the real surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with your host, Skywalker Steele.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Good morning, good people. Welcome to the Skywalker Morning Show. We are streaming live on YouTube, and of course, I am your host, Will Skywalker Steele. Boom! It is time to turn the page to week 5, because beating the Jets mean absolutely nothing if you lose to the Carolina Panthers on Sunday. And there is a particular player who's coming into Dallas, and he ain't here to play no games. And as he said, the Cowboys better buckle up. Okay. All right, Rico. All right. He ain't lying, though. The Cowboys absolutely need to buckle up, tighten up, whatever you want to call it, this specific part of their defense, if they want to shut him out on Sunday at AT&T Stadium. Also, in the roundup, not the Cowboys, we hope the Cowboys, but the NFL is already starting to, make some player movements, some player trades. Will the Cowboys join the fray? Maybe they will, maybe they won't. They get access pretty much every year. And of course, the old man had some things to say about it. We'll touch on it because it made me actually go look at, well, what have they done over the last 15 years in regards to that specific aspect of the team and trading, that is. So we'll take a look at that. We'll talk to you guys about it. If you want to call into the show, you can. 351-999-3787. Of course, we're going to break down. If you're new here, you just joining in on the channel. What we do every week, we break down the opposing team and how they match up with the Cowboys. And for the last few weeks, I've been telling you guys, I'm not watching I watched the film. I'm not going to put together a whole show and production for you for the opposing offense because the defense is giving me no reason. All I was asking for is a little bit of a reason. They gave me a little bit of a reason against the Jets. That's all I needed. I just needed one little excuse to get back on the train. So we're going to break down this Panthers offense, which isn't, a fun offense to study, but they went out last week and had their best day. So we are going to take a look at that. And there's a particular aspect of what they do to the Cowboys, man, if they don't bring their hard hats. If they don't bring it, this thing could be a bit more of a challenge for the defense. So we'll get to all of that. Like I said, you guys can call into the show. But I appreciate y'all for being here, Bomb Squad.
Bomb Squad!
Hope everybody is having a good morning. Hope all the Bomb Squad insiders, shouts out to you. I see y'all. Trust and believe me. The members of the channel, y'all, love y'all to death. Still trying to figure out ways to make the memberships a little bit better for you. I got to remember, when I get this inside information, if you call it, I got to get over there and shoot it to y'all to let y'all know what's happening around these parts of the Cowboys. Let's hit the roundup. Let's talk a little bit about these damn trades.
It's time! It's time! It's time! It's time! It's time! It is time for...
It's time for the morning roundup. Round 'em up, boys.
Let me talk to you.
My bad. I just happened to look over. We on the road. Apologies. We're not at AT&T Stadium. So we're going into Carolina, where Rico Dowdle is going to try to make the Cowboys pay. Before we get to that, though, saw an alert yesterday come across the Twitter sphere and said, almost said to San Diego, the LA Chargers are trading for edge rusher. I believe they call him Odafe Oweh, from the Ravens. I believe the Chargers are getting back, or the Ravens are getting back a safety and a 2026 fifth round pick. Huh. Okay. Interesting. A little less than I thought for the guy that came off of a 10-sack season last year. But he's been shut out so far this year in that department. Has none. And the Ravens are 1-4. So maybe they're sellers. Look, if you're going to be sellers, man, there's a couple guys over there I'd be interested to take up off you. But see, the problem is, how would you know if they don't call you? So 105.3 The Fan, Jerry Jones, he goes on the radio and gets to talking. And he says something along the lines of, that big sign out on the building, open for business? Yeah, we're open for business. But Jerry's approach to business is a little bit more passive, however, a little bit more passive. This was his quote from the call. He says, as we go into this season, teams will position themselves where they basically feel like less of a contender because of losses or because of circumstances on their team. Yep, that's true. That's when you'll see sometimes some better players that are available because a team has decided to start redoing some things on their salary cap structure, for instance. Also true. Not lying right there. There's opportunity there. It's true. And that's when you start getting those calls. Oh. I mean, is he lying? No, I'm pretty sure, teams start, when teams like, all right, whatever, let's try. Well, who's to say they finna call you? Could be missing out on something if you don't pick the phone up, Jer. And you got to pick the phone up sometimes when it doesn't involve your feelings being hurt. You might be saying, well, Sky, what are you talking about? So most know Jerry's and Steven's thought about trades. They've said this many a times, but in case you have not heard how they feel about initiating trades, this is what he said a couple years ago. He said, quote, it will have to come our way, meaning a call. I don't want to preclude it in any way, but it always does. The initiation of an opportunity to make a trade that would help us has to start over on the other end. That's not showing a lack of aggressiveness. Okay. It's just how it starts. End quote, Jerry Jones. So in case you missed that, it starts on the other end. Dallas is probably not going to pick up the phone to make calls. And as you guys know, I've been saying, and then many other Cowboy fans have been saying, man, it really sucked to waste this offensive potential. Like, I shouldn't even use the word potential. It already is. I said this last night on the collective. I think this is a top 2-3 offense right now. I think from a complete standpoint, from a talent, from a coaching, from a just efficiency, play, doability, I honestly would put this offense up with anybody. The only one that maybe you can argue is playing better or as good consistently is the Detroit Lions. Each team has had a little bit of a stinker of a game, if you will. And even though the Cowboys stinker is more so turning the ball over in the red zone, honestly, than anything. But each team has been consistently playing at a high level. I don't want to waste that. I also don't want to waste how your quarterback's playing. I don't want to waste, you're seeing the best run game you've seen since, I'll go even further than 2016. I'll go 2014, DeMarco Murray, which, believe it or not, y'all, was a better rushing season. I just don't want to waste that. So, yeah, I'd like to be a little bit more aggressive. Sometimes aggressive is picking up the phone, for the Cowboys. But anyway, this comes out. I said, well, let me go do some homework. I love researching. So what have the Cowboys in-season trades look like? We know what the trades have looked like in the offseason, trading for the Trey Lances, trading for the Cooks, trading for the Gilmores of the world, right? How about the in-season trade? So pulled up some info, and this is what it looks like, Cowboys Nation, over the last 14 years. That's as far back as I could go from the tool I was using. And we can go back further, but what's the point? Because you're not going to get many in-season trades that are crazy. But here are the in-season trades over the last 14 seasons. Last year, you had Jonathan Mingo traded for a 4th-round pick. Circumstances, you can call it what you want. Obviously, that one so far has not worked out. We'll see if he gets a chance. Here's a crazy thing. Here's the crazy thing. The best case scenario for your Cowboys is that it doesn't. Oh, Sky, why do you don't want to trade? No. I'm not saying I don't want it to work out. The best case is it don't. And this is what I mean. Pickens, Lamb, Turpin, Flo. You want them boys to be healthy and playing for the rest of the season. You don't want to have to see Jonathan Mingo. It's not saying that he can't go out there and make some play. You just don't want to have to see him. Now, given that football is football, guys are going to get injured and you got to step up, you probably will. But I will tell you this. They ain't rushing them back. Jonathan Mingo is being, hey, big dog, how you feeling? I'm good, coach. That wasn't a limp. Nah. That was a limp. You staying on IR. That's how they feeling right now about Jonathan. They saw Flo do what he do. They see and know the importance of Kevontae Turpin in this offense, the elements that they bring. CeeDee Lamb, Pickens, Ferg. They know, not even necessarily take your time. We're going to make you take your time. That's all I'm going to say about that. We're going to make you take your time, ladies and gentlemen, in regards to Jonathan Mingo. So right now, Jonathan Mingo, you ready to go? But they don't need him. 2022, Jonathan Hankins. I remember this trade. Cowboys run defense wasn't great. And make sure we still live here because I'm starting to see. We still good, by the way. Give me a thumbs up if we still good on this end. 1 second. Apologies. Looks like we good. Okay. Jonathan Hankins, 2022, the Cowboys run defense was very mediocre to poor, if you will. Not necessarily the same level now, obviously, but we'll talk about how it's trending in the wrong direction. And the Cowboys needed to address it. And they went out and got former 1st-round pick Jonathan Hankins, veteran. I loved the trade at the time. He was kind of just lost in the sauce and with the Raiders. And he came in and I think he made a difference. I do. For those who were here during that time, you break down that playoff game against the 49ers. Jonathan Hankins was probably your top 3 defensive player that game. He was really good in it. And I thought he stabilized. Yeah, something's wrong with my chat over here. He stabilized the run defense. Now, it wasn't elite. It wasn't amazing, but it was respectable in a sense when it needed to be in the playoffs. I'll just say that. So I like that one. Defensive tackle Eli Anoku, probably butchering that. That was during the lost 2020 season. Obviously, that didn't work out. 2019, Michael Bennett. The Bennett trade, technically from a production standpoint, Bennett played 9 games, had 4 sacks, a bunch of tackles for loss. Bennett was actually, if he came into a really good Cowboys team, I think he could have played a very good role, veteran role for a playoff run. Cowboys team was a mediocre team at that time. That was the 8-8 season. They started off hot, and then that was the first year. If you guys are, again, if you've been around for a while, you know I've always said, offense is starting to look weird. That was the first taste of weird we got from Kellen Moore that season, but it started off fun. They went out, traded for Michael Bennett middle of the year, and what he's really known for is an outburst he had in the locker room because he was just kind of fed up with the culture of the Cowboys. And not necessarily locker room culture, because JG, even Michael McCarthy from Pittsburgh. Locker room culture wasn't terrible or anything like that, but you could, from what was being reported at the time, Bennett was just like, man, this is some BS. He comes from Super Bowl, teams. He was won a Super Bowl, been to multiple in Seattle, was with the damn Patriots at that time. Hell, had he stayed, he would have won another ring. The Patriots won a Super Bowl that year, if I'm not mistaken. So he was just fed up with seeing how things were in Dallas compared to 2 Super Bowl organizations over the last at that time in the last 7 years. So that's mostly what he's known for. But he actually was pretty decent for the Cowboys. Obviously, the big one, Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper essentially saved the 2018 season. Cowboys were 3-5 at the time, or 3-4, I should say, at the time. They tried to do the whole wide receiver by committee. Silly as all hell, if you ask me, especially for a second-year quarterback who is still developing as a passing quarterback. Very raw in a lot of that sense. A run game who was going to suffer because of the suspension of Ezekiel Elliott. They just botched that to infinity. I believe that was that, or was that 2018? Yeah, 2018. Yeah, that's the one. So a 2-year pro, but 3rd-year quarterback who still wasn't the passing guy he is now. That was the next year he would take that leap. And it was the previous year actually with the suspension with Zeke. So it wasn't 2018. But either way, they botched the wide receiver thing. They understood that and they said, my bad. Let's go get Amari Cooper. And Amari Cooper saved that season. He really did. And he had a good postseason as well. Then they didn't make a trade in between before that until 2015. So 2015 to 2018, no trades. Matt Castle in 2015 and Bryce Butler. And if you remember the Matt Castle and Bryce Butler trades, a lot of that was a response to Tony Romo going down. Because both of these trades were made when Tony Romo went down and Dez Bryant got hurt. Dez, I think, had the foot situation. And if you ask me, that was the start of the downtrend of Dez Bryant. He just kind of never could recover from that elite specimen that he was, but he still could play the game. I thought he could still play, and he did. He had a solid year in 2016, but he never recaptured the 2014 Dez Bryant. And that's when you mess around with feet for that particular position, it could happen. Then he got injured again, and it just is what it is. So Dez has sat out for a while. Romo got broke again, and he was out. And they brought in Matt Castle. I want to say they had, what was the other guy that Brandon Weeden? Oh Lord. I remember when Jerry Jones talked up Brandon Weeden and tried to get the Cowboys Nation going with Brandon Weeden. I was just like, boy, he's something else. But that year was such a crazy year because your defense was actually pretty solid. Your offensive line was still among the best in the league. Your run game came into form. They was trying to figure it all out. Sony Michel, DMC eventually took it over. The draw still in Joseph Randle. It was trying to figure the run game out, but it eventually found its footing to be respectable. DMC couldn't score a damn touchdown to save his life, but it was respectable. But damn it, the quarterback was trash. Matt Castle was awful. And yeah, that went to the tank. But without that season, you don't get the high pick in 2016, and the rest is history. So that is the end season trades for the Cowboys the last 14 years. Kind of want to get your guys' feelings on making a potential, and let me do this, making a potential end season trade this year. Because a lot of people are still on the train of, Cowboys aren't good. Don't make any crazy moves. Keep the picks, yada, yada, yada. But after, 2-2, potentially can move to 3-2. Hell, you can beat the Washington. I don't get too ahead, but just trying to play that game real quick. Does it change your mind, your outlook on making a move, number one? And number two, outside of the Amari Cooper trade, because you can't get any better than that in regards to compensation or what have you, trading first-round pick. Let's remove the first-round picks. How many of you are interested in being a little bit more aggressive than a fifth, a sixth, a seventh, a fourth? Or a fourth could be the most aggressive you're looking to be. See, me, everything's on the table outside of those first-round picks, unless those first-round picks entail going to get a guy like a Max Crosby, and I'm not even really dabbling in that universe because I don't think that's a possibility. But if you tell me, well, Sky, this could be a possibility, then damn it, the first round picks is on the table too. First round pick, but because you got 4 of them over the next 2 years, you know what I mean? But I'm trying to stay more of in a real world. For me, outside those first round picks, all of those picks are on the table, 2026 and 2027, to improve this roster. Because at this point, I don't think this defense is close to being a playoff defense. But all I needed to be is complimentary. I'm opportunistic. Can we get back to that? Look, hey, DQ, I'll take a DQ type defense to go with this offense right now. I'm not asking for dominant. I'm not asking for top 10, top 5. I'm asking for better than what we've gotten over the first 5 weeks of the season. So are there fans that were like, no way, Jose, I'm not touching this? Are you still on that train, or are you willing to be a little bit more open to a trade to improve this team? My guy Toxic got to say, says, Sky, use any pick. You have an MVP caliber. That's fair. I'm with you. This is what I mean, though. I use any pick if it's going to get a return like a first round pick, if it's a Max Crosby return. Right? Like, yes, for sure. Go get Simmons or Hendrickson. Hendrickson. Boy, we talked about Simmons. I wonder if that is realistic for other team. Maybe not Dallas because they invested there, but Hendrickson, Trey Hendrickson is just the easiest one for me. We've said this over and over and over again, for sure. For sure. You know, I'm not opposed, and I know they'll take their time with Blue, but I'm speaking selfishly here, so don't kill me. I ain't got time for it. So I'll say, like I said with a couple of these other players, while he's developing and you're gaining that trust, I ain't opposed to going to go get me a real RB2 if you ain't ready to give him RB2 duties. You know what I'm saying? And that ain't going to cost you nothing but a 7 for 6, a 2027 8th round pick. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to cost you a lot at all to get you an Isaac Guerrero type. Now, if you want to go up a little bit more, I saw last night you guys were bringing up A-Chain and things like that. Well, come on now. I mean, yes. Whew, can you imagine A-Chain with this? So, you know, defense is the big one. I get that 100%. I do multiple trades. Linebacker, defensive end, potentially cornerback if you want to get, you know, a top tier slot guy or top tier boundary and move Bland into the slot. I think that's fair. I think there's some safeties on the market that you can get without having to trade for a safety. But I think running back is very low on the list. But on the list, RB2 is still on the list. Jay Diz, I get a linebacker that can cover and a second back. Or a linebacker that can tackle. We'll talk about that in a second. Algier. You know, as we get ready to talk about the Panthers and we're talking about RB2s, boy, Rico Dowdle sure would have looked good with this team, boy. I don't want to talk too much about water under the bridge, but you want to talk about complimentary. Yeah, he may not be the 70-yard take it to the crib guy, but he has more spark and bounce than Jay Will, but he would have complimented Jay Will. And he still brings the physicality. Oh, that'd have been fun. That'd have been fun. He wasn't getting paid much either. He costing you 2.7 on the cap this year. When they asked him the question, I was joking about this with Voch on the phone. He was very fast with his answer. Did y'all notice that? Did you notice he was very quick and assertive? Like, yeah, they're going to have to buckle up. Oh. I didn't come into this thing thinking a Rico revenge game, but that felt personal. And I started to think about this. Rico went to a Panther team that already paid the back where he was going in to be a backup. And he wasn't getting the bag. Rico got 2.7 on the cap. Cost you the 1 year deal. 1 year. Dallas paying Kyer Elam 2.5. Kenneth Murray costing you 7.5 on. Miles Sanders cost you half of that. I do wonder if he said, "Oh yeah, I bet buckle up." All right, cool. We're gonna buckle up. We go relax. But I do wonder if it's personal to him to say, "Damn, y'all didn't even draft the back for y'all didn't take a guy. It took a change of pace back, a cap back, change of pace. I'm sorry. Back. Didn't sign a big back. You hit though on Jay Will, don't get me wrong, but he could have been a part of that tandem. So I do wonder if he looked at the situation like, damn, that's how y'all feel? All right, bet. Cool. I bet you they probably offered him the Miles Sanders deal. And they're not wrong on the Jay Will situation either, though. I do think I do think they were right on saying, all right, let's bring in Jay Will. They're right. But just think they should have kept Rico too. And they got Rico too. Real quick, let me talk to the OG, one of the hosts of the OG Cowboys podcast. You see, I got to bring you in like that now because you know you're doing your thing on the tube. Shout out to B Bird. What's up, bro?
Hey, what's happening, Scott? How you doing, man?
Good, man. It feels good to hear from you.
Hey, you too, man. Hey, I was going to ask you, do you really think that they wait on people to call? Because I can't see them waiting on people to call in Amari Cooper and the Pickett situation. Do you think it's his cap, or do you really think they wait on their phone to ring?
I do. I do think they wait, but I do think it's not nothing is 100%. I think in those two situations, that was I don't want to call it panic move, an aggressive reactionary move due to the circumstances. I do think circumstances will change it. We talk about Pine changing your mind. I do think circumstances can change your mind. And I don't know if you saw me and Tuai's show yesterday. I have my, we listen and we don't judge. And one of my topics was something I'm a bit of afraid of is that the continued success that we have with the backups could breed false hope for the Joneses and make them less aggressive. AKA, the circumstances look good for them. They'll be like, oh, we're fine. Oh, we're 4-2 without making big moves. We don't have to make a trade. And they'll be passive. Whereas if the Cowboys lose the next two games and go 2-4-1, I think you see them wake the hell up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my worry. Yeah. I think it should be opposite. I think the success you have with the depth should actually inspire you to be more aggressive.
And Scott, you're absolutely right. I actually did a show this week, and it said, hey, great win, but don't get too comfortable. Because I feel like the front office gets comfortable after a win and feel like they've arrived. And that's when you actually should start putting pressure on your roster. My biggest thing has been lately, stack the roster from the top of the room, wide receiver room, defensive end room.
Yeah.
Bring quality guys at the top and push everybody down one. And that's how you make your team better. And back to what we were saying, if that's the case, if they're waiting on the phone to ring, what happens when you have an aggressive GM that is fighting for his job? He's going to make the phone call first. So I don't see how that stance, waiting on your phone to ring, is ever going to be a good one because other people in the league aren't waiting on their phone to ring. They're making the other team's phone ring. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I kind of don't see how that happens. I don't see how that becomes advantageous to you. I know what they're saying. They're basically saying, hey, you're more in desperation mode when you called us, so now we're going to get a better deal. But it's not about the deal. It's about the player. And so if you got a player that's going to be, hey, this guy's going to pick out – Max Crosby is the guy I've been touting the whole time. I say if Max Crosby is going to make your defensive backs better, your defensive line better, make your whole team better, at some point in time, that's what you do. You just say, you got 4 of them. If you got to give up 1 first-round pick to get those picks, anybody that says, no, man, we got to keep these picks, man, your window is your quarterback. Dak Prescott is right now playing at an MVP pace. You need to build everything around him right now. I'm not saying give away 4 picks, first-round picks. But if the Raiders say, hey, man, we want your number 1 next year, and you got a Max Crosby that's already signed through 2028.
It's a no-brainer, bro.
It's a no-brainer, man. It's a no-brainer.
It actually would be better than the Amari Cooper deal because you had to pay Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay Max. Max is paid already, right. and Max is actually a better player than Amari was at the time. So, yeah, that's a no-brainer. I don't know that the Raiders would do it, but I don't think the Raiders are picking up the phone to trade him. I think you'd have to pick up the phone to do that.
Absolutely. You have to pick up the phone because he's a Raider for life. But what they're doing is they're losing. So right now they got to start thinking about their future, right? Like, okay, we got Max, but when we ever win again, will Max be here in his prime? No. Well, why don't we get something for him now? And the thing about it is he makes $35 million. But if you compare that to Micah Parsons, it's really a great value versus a guy that can stop the run and the pass, and all he does is make plays. To me, man, I'm not going to put it on his level. But it'll be similar to what our defense was before Charles Haley and what it was after Charles Haley, to be honest with you. And so that's what a good pass rusher does for you, man. I just think that the front office needs to – when have we went all in? I mean, when have we said, nah, man, this is it. We're going to go and go get some
Bird.
parts and we're going to make a run for this thing.
We've been talking about
Just
that.
hasn't happened in a while.
Since you were one of the first people to jump in my live streams when there was 3 people watching. And we've been talking about that. We're going on 6 years or something, 5 years. I don't know what it's been.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if I had a penny for every time you
so
say
one
that,
thing
I have a lot of pennies.
And I'll let you go on this. You know, I love what Javonte Williams is doing. I actually, was right about that. I felt like he's going to be really recover from his injuries this year, and we're going to get. And he's 25 years old. I thought we were, getting a good deal with him, and he's been everything I expected. No, more than I expected, to be honest with you. But I'd say this: the reason why I love getting Pickens is because he's a pseudo number one. What that does is that says that if CD goes down, we still have a number one, and we still have somebody net of fear. Yep. Well, the thing about it is it worked out. Like, if this was last year, man, we'd be screwed, to be totally honest with you, at wide receiver position. But Pickens really saving the day. But Pickens, really, man, if Javonte goes down, I don't know who we have with exception. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who we have that's going to give us that kind of impact. So we might need to trade for a running back just in case.
Yeah, you need a compliment. And I know the rookies, people, Maffa and Blue and things like that, but clearly they don't trust Blue. Maffa we'll see what happens with Maffa when he comes back. But I think when you watch Javonte Williams run, there's, again, I use this term, it's very layman's, I guess, but there's a know-how. We can call it vision, we can call it whatever you want. There's a feel because he's done it over and over and over again in this league for 5 years now, whatever it's been. There's a feel to it. He made a cutback on a play that wasn't designed to go there. It was a trap. It was a Denergy who pulled. Cowboys were backed up, I think, inside the 20. Denergy pulls and he trips up or something. He just doesn't get there. Something happens. And instead of just barreling his head down, because he actually did that a few times where he was just like, hey, man, the play is designed here. Let's just go here. Sticks his foot in the ground, cuts left, shoots into that open gap, and he gets like a 9-yard gain. It may seem like nothing at that point, but it could mean everything if it means that now we're continuing to get in front of the sticks. Now a second and short. Now big play after that. Like, he kind of just brings that where I don't know if I know you don't got it in Miles. I can tell you that for sure. His vision is super suspect. Yeah. And then the physicality and the 3-down ability and everything. He's just shown to be a complete running back for you in this scheme. And you're right. If he goes down, I don't think you have that. I'm not saying you go get the exact replica of that, but I would like to go get a better upgrade behind him, because for anything, not just that part, I don't want, he's on pace for over 325 touches. Like, that would be 4th most in the National Football League last year for a guy who has the injury history that he has. I do think you want to make sure you are, thinking about that moving forward.
And I think, man, it was kind of you just described a run that maybe a lot of people didn't kind of pick up on, that you saw some nuance in. I saw one, man, and I can't remember what the play was, and pretty much they had him at a 2-yard loss. He ended up getting like a yard and a half out of it.
Oh, yeah, man, 3rd and 1.
Yeah, I was like, how did he do that? And I said, you know what? Most backs would have, our other backs, kind of finesse backs, they'd have been caught in that 2-yard loss. But he actually got yards out of that. I was like, that's crazy, man. Those little small plays like that keep drive going, man.
Rico, it reminded me of some Rico runs. I've seen Rico do something like that during his tenure here in Dallas from 23 and 24. But yes, that play right there, you could put that as one of the most important plays. Granted, they were going to go for it, but I'd rather them convert in that manner, because I bet you that fired up that offense.
Yeah. Well, Scott, hey, I appreciate you taking my call, man.
Absolutely.
I continue to listen to the show, man. And hey, great show too, man. I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, brother. Keep rocking, man. Keep killing it with the OG podcast. Be Bird, ladies and gentlemen.
Will do, brother. Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Lab. Well, if you don't like the content, boy, you know you could just come on back at another time. Respectfully. Appreciate you being here and all that, because you were here faithfully, which means you at least supported some damn way. But your damn general manager was talking about a trade, so we talking about it. What do you do? And it's legit too, man. Like, Cowboys make a move or a couple. Don't tell me you wouldn't feel good a little bit about it, Mr. Lab now. God damn it. But you're right. We're going to get to the breakdown. Relax. Hold your horses, man. It was a long show, okay? A long show. Call into the show, 351-999-3787. Good stuff. Good talk from B-Bird. Always is and always will be. Before we get to this breakdown, man, I want to talk to y'all about our season sponsor, Sleeper. Tomorrow's Thursday. I got to give y'all my picks. You ain't got to take them, but I'm going to talk about them. Let's get to it. Thursday night game is an NFC East matchup. Saquon Barkley, more or less, anytime touchdown. Give me that, man. Easy money. Easy money. They don't want to throw the ball to A.J. Brown. He's trying to take it away on a Hail Mary. You got Jalen Hurts trying to throw it and Mr. Perfect and go catch it his damn self. I don't know who he think he is. Hilarious. But all I know, guarantee that man gonna score a tutty. You can take that to the bank. Let's go touchdown. Give me more. Jackson Dart, 175.5 pass yards, more or less. I got less. First game against Vic Fangio. Yeah, for a rookie quarterback in only his second start, that could be a challenge for him. That can be a challenge, and I can see them making it. They turned the ball over 5 straight times. Jackson Dart just ran around and dropped the ball. He just ran around, dropped the ball. So I got less for Jackson Dart. I don't think he's going to throw the ball over the park. And if he does, man, shouts out to him. Hope he doesn't and beat their ass. That's what I really hope. But I just can't see it right now. And then Devontae Smith. Look, A.J. Brown, not going to get a bunch of catches and yards right now the way things is going, but somehow, some way, Jalen Hurts will drop back, close his eyes, and say Devontae Smith is down there somewhere. 48.5 yards, he going to catch a 55-yard bomb. That's what he's been doing this year. He going to catch a 55-yard bomb and get more than that. So those are my sleeper picks. Make sure y'all use my promo code STEELE, STEELE, to get 100% match. Also, they giving away money over there. They giving away money. A free $20 entry, no deposit needed, and you still get that 100% match, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. Also, go Giants. Still go Giants. All right, let's get to this Panthers Cowboys breakdown, if you will. A couple weeks ago, if you'd asked me about this Panthers offense, hell, I might have been like, ain't no need to break it down in general. It just very underwhelming. And even when you go watch the Miami game, which was their best game of the season, it was like, oh, Rico definitely went off. And you saw Boy go off a little bit. But Bryce Young doesn't really move the needle for me. But either way, there are some individual players on this team, and offensive line is not terrible, that makes this a little fun to break down from a matchup standpoint. Their OC is their head coach, who is their play caller, Dave Canales. If you guys remember him, I think he was with Seattle at one point, and he got the head coaching job a few years ago. And, trying to make Bryce Young into something here. They're coming off their best performance of the season against the Dolphins. For the first time, you saw kind of all these guys have a role per se. Rookie wideout Ted McMillan, who I told you guys I just think he looks like he got next in the next few years. He has 73 yards on 6 catches. He's flashing. Xavier Legette, probably my favorite player in the NFL to listen to. My favorite player. He had a nasty red zone touchdown. And then obviously Rico Dowdle. Over 200 rushing yards. Got it. I said, okay, I got to see how that happened. And, that's where I think it starts for the Cowboys. It starts defending the run. Cowboys have quietly not been good against the run the last few weeks, ladies and gentlemen. They've been slipping in that area. They've allowed 4.3 yards per carry to opposing running backs. Green Bay hit that mark exactly. And then obviously Breece Hall went the hell off last week with his carries. He had like 6 carries with like 15 yards. It was weird. It was just a weird thing to see. It was all up the middle of the defense. Right now, Dallas currently sits at 22nd in the league in rush success rate. That's only 6 spots ahead of their mark last year when they finished 28th. Now, look, Carolina's not going to do a whole lot to you. It's not anything crazy, but they're going to be physical. They are a physical downhill rushing team. Gap exchange, gap scheme, concepts, a bunch of pulls. They're just trying to out-tough you. They're not really trying to do anything. You'll get some motion and things like that, but not a whole lot of crazy window dressing or misdirection. Just straight up physical football is what you're going to get from them. That's why I said at the beginning of this, you got to bring your hard hats here because that guy right there matches that energy. And you may say, well, what about Chuba Hubbard? Hubbard's out. It sounds like he's going to be out again, and it's going to be Rico Dowdle, which I think is hilarious that it matches up this way. So Cowboys are going to have to be fundamentally sound because with Rico, you know he's going to bring that physicality. You know he's going to be a balanced runner. You know he's going to bring some of that energy. We've seen it, and he's got a little burst to his game. We know Rico Dowdle. They know Rico Dowdle. That's why I said they know. I've been there for 5 years. They know who I am. Buckle up. But here's something they're going to have to do. I made fun of the Jets last week being one of the worst tackling teams. Ladies and gentlemen, your Dallas Cowboys are one of the worst tackling teams in the National Football League. This is your current starting linebackers. This unit, in regards to the defense, is tied for the third most missed tackles in the NFL. And I mean the whole defense, not just this unit, apologies, but the whole defense. And that's per PFR. If you go look at PFF, it's even uglier. Jack Sanborn leads the team, obviously, in missed tackles with 7. Kenneth Murray's right behind him with 5. Maris Leofau leads the team in missed tackle rate because he hasn't played a whole lot, but he's missing them at a higher rate than all of them. 33%. 1 out of every 3 attempts he's missing. That's pretty damn high. And then you go look at, it's not just the linebackers. Defensive back, Donovan Wilson leads the team in missed tackle rate and defensive back at 25%. Reddy Stewart leads the defensive backs in missed tackles, period. Granted, though, I do think he has been one of your more solid run-fill guys for the corners, so I don't really get on too hard about that. But still missed tackles, man. It's still missed tackles. And look, we had this conversation yesterday. We talked about it. While Shamar James is an incredible athlete, incredible, he's still very raw in the run game. I'll say this. I do think he's going to be your surest tackler of this team. Whenever he gets better at the run stuff, he's a pup, man. Yeah, they just need to get a bunch of at-bats and hopefully that improves it. But there are some things that pop up on film in preseason and in college that you say, okay, that not only has to change, but it's going to have to drastically change, right? Misdiagnosing things, hesitation, physicality, those type of things. He's a little light, so he doesn't really want to thump, jump around it a lot. But this unit misses a lot of tackles, man. And with Rico coming to town in a physical front, gotta be better. Gotta be better across the board, period. And this game was uber concerning from that standpoint. Fortunately, you win it comfortably. And you say, okay, we got to be better at this off of a win, not a tie, not a loss. But again, we often talk about the how, right? Looking for baby steps with the defense. Pressure came and played well last week. Run defense has been taking a slip. Let's kind of get back on track. Now, that play right there, if you notice, and you'll see another one. The Jets were doing something in this game that I'd have to imagine that the Panthers are going to take a look at and take a page out of. They use our aggressive nature against us, right? We're a 4-down line team. We're penetrating the gaps. We're getting upfield. We're shooting them. Get upfield, right? You saw the Jets pull the chair. Y'all remember who? I forget who it was. I believe it was, I could be having the guys mixed up. Basketball terminology again. Either Yao Ming pulled a chair or somebody pulled a chair on Yao. He was backing him down. and they pulled the chair and boom, fell on the ground. The Jets were doing that to the Cowboys a handful of times. They were just inviting you upfield and then getting right to the second level. And you saw defensive linemen on the ground, and it just wasn't great. And then when you get to the second level, you saw missed tackles, or you saw guys jumping out of lanes or weren't diagnosing. It just wasn't. It was one of their worst, I think, outings. Fortunately, they weren't able to keep running. Your offense, to stop the run game, if the Cowboys don't get back on track with it, will have to take it out of the other team's hands until the Cowboys run defense figures it out. I hope it be this week. In fact, I think if you do that this week against the Panthers and Rico Dowdle, it could breed a little bit more confidence moving forward. All right, we back. We back on this thing. So bottom line, I do think they're going to have to tighten this thing up a little bit, get back to their early year run defense and bring their hard hats. I will say this, I don't question them doing that part, bringing their hard hats. The Panthers offensive line is going to want to brawl you. I put this out. As a matter of fact, I put it in there. Here you go. Take a look at this play from, here we go. Center Cade Mays, man. He basically just shoulder check / Jey Uso speared whoever it is. Boo! I don't know who this linebacker is. Well, you're watching film of their run game, and actually not a bad offensive line. That's a pretty solid offensive line in regards to talent and the way they play. Cowboys in years past, specifically Micah Parsons, would tear up Moton in those tackles, but it's just a physical brand of football they're going to play. Now, they ain't doing anything cute, man. They're not. They're just going to get downhill. They're going to do some duo and get to the second level. They're going to run some pulls, and they're not going to be creative in how to get to it either. Just straight down, run through your face. And this play by Cade Mays just had me rolling. I had to kind of highlight this for y'all. So that second level, hey, Murray, you can't be dancing around. You get your head taken off. Shamar, you can't be dancing around, prancing around. You get your head taken off. Got to be ready. Got to be ready. But what about the pass game, Sky? That I'm not so much concerned about because of Bryce Young. Now, Bryce is very, athletic. He moves around, things like that. But Cowboys last week had an athletic quarterback that moves around that they held in check in that manner. And I wonder it's because of all the zone. Now, they played more man, not a whole lot like y'all think, just more. But I wanted to go look. Okay, so, and this may be something I do every week. Zone check. How does said quarterback play against zone? Because the Cowboys are going to run a ridiculous amount of zone. Not good, Bob, for Bryce Young. Not good. 32nd in yards per attempt, 28th in completion percentage, 1 touchdown to 3 interceptions. And he's not been aggressive in that nature. So as you can see, last in yards per attempt. So he's just dumping it off in that sense. And you can tell when you watch the film that Bryce Young is still developing as a processor. I wonder, this is something I was just thinking out loud as I was watching it. I wonder if Dave Canales is like, I don't want to use this term, it could be derogatory. Limiting his playbook because of Bryce Young right now. I don't know. I'm not in Panther universe. If talking Panther fans are here, y'all can let me know. But it just feels like Bryce Young is not there and he's young, but he's not there as a processor yet. And just watching like concepts, and I'm not, this can't be all. This can't be. And I noticed it actually, was it last year when we played Carolina? One of the years, I noticed it. Yeah, it was last year. Studying them and seeing the type of plays, and I'm just like, this is it? Oh, okay. You took a quarterback number 1 overall, and you playing screen game and tunnel screens and everything right at the line of scrimmage, and nothing much downfield. Bryce Young tried to go downfield last week and threw an interception. I believe, I don't think it was zone. It might have been cover 3, but there was man on one side for sure, but there was some visions type stuff going on the other side, and he threw a pick. Wouldn't shock me if he threw a pick this week if they decide to not run the ball a whole bunch with as much zone that we play, as long as the pass rush gets home, right? And the Jets offensive line coming into that game was playing some good ball. So you can't call it a mirage because of the competition in regards to the pressure. Now, the amount of pressure was definitely a surprise. You know, we got quick pressure so much in that game. It was like, oh, you do that. That changes things from a pass game standpoint. Shouts out to Justin Fields. You know, gave us a lot of sacks there too. I mean, he just holds the ball, sack. Guy he does a little bit of that too, but they haven't taken a whole lot of sacks. You know, 4 games, 2 of those games, only 1 sack, but the other 2 games he had 3 sacks. So he can be sacked, but they don't. The offensive line is pretty solid in that sense. So I'll tell you that I think it's better from a pass blocking standpoint than Jets. Quarterbacks are very similar, but if the Cowboys pass rush can do what they did last week, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, can't get fooled again. Maybe that ain't fool's gold. We did a game yesterday on the collective. Real pump the brakes, and we should have said pass rush. Because I think it's fair to pump the brakes if you want to see more consistency from it. But if you go back-to-back weeks, you'll start to feel real a little bit. You'll start to feel real. What you got from your juice guys is what you want to see from your juice guys. James Houston and Dante Fowler were your best pass rushers, bar none. But you got interior pressure. The guy who led your team, or at least was up there, was Osa, right? Good. So a great game from a pass standpoint from defensive line. Bad game from a run game standpoint. Tackles weren't great. Getting turned. You know, Mozzie Clark had his worst game against the run. Honestly, y'all. Wasn't his best day. Happens, though. Happens. You don't want to see it consistently happen. So you give me that pass rush against Bryce and how he plays against the zone. Oh, yeah, he's going to make mistakes. He's going to make mistakes. So that's the Carolina Panthers quarterback. His targets. Ted McMillan's the headliner. I mentioned it earlier. Just put it in his area code, man. He's coming down with it. Some of the quickest hands, and what I mean by quick, I mean he snatches the ball out the air like he's disrespected that it's even hanging in the air that long. Body control out the world. There's no doubt in my damn mind if he fell to 12, they were running to the podium. But it all worked out. You got George Pickens. He's had 60 or more yards in every game except one, but he hasn't hit the end zone yet. So eventually that'll come, but don't let it be against the Cowboys. I'll tell you this. If you can go back 21, 22, 21, 22, Trayvon Diggs, Dan Quinn, a lot of man. Trayvon Diggs versus Ted McMillan. I'm talking just like pure football fan. Like that would be a fun matchup. Prime Diggs against Ted. Oh, they be battling out there, man. Right now, I don't know if you want to see Diggs against Ted McMillan one-on-one. Respectfully, of course. Diggs don't run the same. My body different, B. I feel different, B. A couple surgeries. I'm figuring out this offense. Or I'm sorry, this defense. Out of zone sometimes, man. Sometimes I do my own damn thing. Quarterback ain't but Tet against Dick, I'm taking that all day. Jose go he be in his feelings. I don't know if I told y'all about that, the Bubba Dub thing. Y'all know I still work with Bubba Dub. That's what I do on the side too. When he sent me, he was ready to throw shots at Diggs. I said, oh, shit. And I had to be the one to put the work together. I said, oh, God, not one of my own. I said, I said, Dub.
Let's be nice. Yeah. Let's be nice. We don't have to go there. I mean, you're not wrong, but you didn't have to say it. I mean, good Lord.
You're not wrong, Dub. Why you gotta pass that to me? I ain't wrong. Now, Diggs, go make me wrong is all I'm gonna say. But can y'all be mad at me with the data that we currently have? If you got a good quarterback and I see Ted McMillan and I ain't talking about no damn Diggs right now, I ain't going to him with all due respect. That's just how good I think the young man looks. That's all I'm saying. Thank you, Dan. Thank you. Bub on all. If y'all haven't seen that, just type up Bubba Dub, Trayvon Diggs. And he sent me the DMs before it went public. I said, please tell me this fake. He said, nah. He said, I'm about to roll. What's wrong with my... He said, I'm about to go off on him. Bub funny, man. You know, he a comedian. I'll keep saying, why you go out a comedian is silly. I am implicated, Dre, and I feel terrible. I feel terrible. Facts. Big A, I definitely was looking like Nino Brown when I'm making this damn edit. I'm pressing all the buttons like, God damn. Bow. But he wasn't wrong. He wasn't wrong. Defense played better from a coverage standpoint last week. Hey, man. Wanye. I don't know if we'll see it this week because quarterback ain't good. I'm just saying. Eventually, I would like to see him challenged because I think it'll take him he made quiet plays. Should have been loud, a couple of them saving tackles, those touchdowns. But in coverage is what I'm getting at. And we talked about this on the Sky and 2 Eyes show. The ability to go sideline to sideline. The athleticism is way better than Malik's. I would love to see him be challenged. And I would love for him to have a Flanoy game. Because if so, then you can't deny him. You know what I mean? I don't want to get to a point where it's like, oh, Malik's back. Make it undeniable, brother. We've been asking for you to go out there. Make it make them have to say, hey, Hook, you're going to have to contribute as a veteran in the locker room. You're going to have to help out this buck. You're going to have to have special teams, you know, whenever you need a sub and things like that. But make it undeniable. That's all I'm saying. So there you go. That's the Cowboys defense against this Panthers offense. The number one thing for me is for this Cowboys run defense to get back on track. Currently ranked 22nd in rush success rate against the run and one of the worst tackling teams in the National Football League, led by these gentlemen right here. Now we'll see. We'll get the first injury report today with Jack Sanborn, who was concussed. He could potentially be out of this game. If I had to guess, I think they're probably going to move Murray in the middle with the green dot, if he doesn't already have it. And obviously Leah Fowl and Shamar James. And I think they've been strategic in how they're deploying the backers, or they're trying to figure out which grouping works best. But, you know, we kind of was, I don't want to get back on it. We were kind of laughing with Foots. Again, he ain't wrong. But he was watching the film and he was like, hey, man, so bad with the run defense without, you know, when Jack wasn't in there, that he's like, I go back to Jack, and it's like, well, relax. I'm personally willing to deal with the lows if we can make plays with the backers, because I don't think we got playmaking backers. But he's not wrong in that you had worse linebacker play against the run. Yeah, you did. But I think you had more athleticism, more striking ability. And I think there's more upside with the young Bucks. So I'm still 10 toes on it. I'm still 10 toes. Still want the Bucks to play. Let them. We said this, right? Hey, there's going to be lows. You just hope the lows ain't worse, but there's going to be lows. Let them go through that, because I think you'll be rewarded with the play, and that's exactly what Marius Leofau did, didn't he? Huh? He missed some tackles. He jumping here, jumping there, but he made that damn play. Why punched that thing, didn't he? All right, that's all I'm saying. Let the young bucks work through it, because I think they have more upside to make a play. Said that. Oh, of course, Toxic would say that, because I mean that's just an elite. Sanborn looks like Walter White Jr. in coverage. Shout out to Breaking Bad. Me and my wife have a joke. I can't say it publicly because I don't know how people be trying to cancel everybody. But shouts out to Breaking Bad. Shouts out to Walt Jr. What was Walt Jr.'s nickname? We in 2025 can't be saying certain things. That crazy nickname. What they call him? Or what did he call himself? Flynn. Go. Oh, I want to imitate him so bad, but I don't want to get in trouble, right? I don't want to get in trouble. So let me just shut up. Just keep it moving, man, before I get in trouble. Yeah. If y'all really fool, like if y'all see me, like my brothers is in this chat, Sean, Lee, they know I'm a damn fool outside of this thing. I want to imitate Walter White so bad, but I'm not. G from Philly, what's up?
Yo, what's up, nephew? How you doing, my man?
What's good with you? I'm good.
That's good. That's good. B-Bird made some good points as usual.
Always.
That run, that tough run. He was spot on, but that was a tough run. Kept the chains moving.
Yep.
On that Javonte Williams. But yeah, man, I'm just sorry. Like I called Monday, man. I just wish we always a day late dollar short. I just wish we had kept Rico. We could have drafted another running back later, or use that draft pick for someone else that we needed. But bridge over water. There's nothing we can do about it now. But question: that middle linebacker from the Jaguars, we can't get him this year. But I heard them say that his contract is up after this. He's playing on the
Devin Lloyd.
The boy with the interception, the pick six. Woo! Can we get him next year? Lord have mercy.
I got a feeling if he plays as an All-Pro, why would they let him out the building? Because that defense is playing really good. They got
I mean, we've seen stranger things happen.
Yeah, right, no doubt about it. But I mean, if the Jags go on and make it to the playoff, they're at 4-1 right now. And by the way, shouts out to Liam Cohen. Hey, Foots, shouts out to Liam Cohen. Look, I even am a bit surprised at I didn't know Liam had that type of fire. But again, I don't study the ins and outs of the Bucks, but I studied their scheme, and I was like, that's one of them ones right there. But I didn't know he would be a good head coach either. Like, I was just wanted his scheme, and he got some fire to him. He tried to fight Saleh. Now, Robert Saleh would probably knock his ass the next week, but he said, look,
he tried.
I'm going to go down fighting. Robert Saleh said, man, he said, I will kill you. hey, Pizza Boy 2.0, you might want to relax a little bit there, Liam, but I like the fire. Shouts out to what the Jags are doing. They'd be a fool to let Devin Lloyd walk out the building. A fool.
Hey, we've seen stranger things happen. I'm just saying, you're right. You're not
with
wrong. Our brass, with our office, would we go for him? Will we have enough common sense? They
got an owner that don't give a damn about money. He got that Saudi money. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
He do not care about overpaying extra cash up front. Jags, in fact, I want to say the Jags spend the most money, in free agency all the damn time or whatever. So that's all. But Devin Lloyd, if he can somehow get away, that'd be awesome. But then there's the other side, G. The Cowboys going to pay him that money. The other side,
That's
G.
what I'm saying.
That's the other side.
That's what I'm saying. They laid dollar short. That's what I'm saying. One last question. I'll let you go. We all know Sanborn's in a quicksand. Ironically, the fumble that Maris calls, that was after Sanborn left the game, correct? And that's when dude broke the big run. Wasn't that after Sanborn got injured?
Yep. It was so the
very next play, right?
No. The next play is when the next play he ripped a 22-yard run right up the middle at Shamar James and Kenneth Murray.
Right.
Like they just played that terribly.
Right.
And then I want to say the following play again ran right at Shamar James, and he jumps out of the gap. And I want to say Leofau either missed the tackle or again just he misread the play initially too. And you got to remember that was actually a really good run. He ran for like 15 yards, and it was going to be 1st and goal. But this is the other side we talk about with the Young Bucks. You make up for it by making a play, right? So they were getting ran on without Sanborn, like bad. And they had to play with him when they got ran on too. But that was Murray, and I don't know what the hell is Murray. I'm just over that, and Sanborn, but I'm really over him too. But so you're right. They made a play, but they were getting their ass ran on, back to bang, bang, bang. Like every time they hand the ball to him down the middle, it was a big ass gain. It's like, thank God they had to abandon the run.
Exactly, and no tackles for loss in the run game. Obviously, we got some sacks, but we had 0 tackles for loss, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Last question: when Agent Zero come back, are you confident, or do you think with Agent Zero, Leofau, with that athletic ability, Leofau still, he's a project, but would you then play Sanborn in the middle if you got overshown on the field with him to make up for his lack of athletic ability and speed? If we don't make any other changes?
I wonder if, I don't think they're going to play Demo at middle, or at least I think they should play him as a will guy, but maybe they will. Maybe they have to do it to get that athleticism out there. I'm hoping somebody gains the trust of. I just don't think Flus trusts these dudes, and then you see the film and you're like, well, I kind of see why, and that's right. That may be the main reason why they keep running him out there is because they don't trust anybody else.
Right.
So I believe I want Demo to be a guy that runs free at will. Let that boy just see ball, hit ball, get ball, right? But if I have to put, I thought Maris would be the green dot guy, but I don't know. Maybe they don't believe in it right now. But if I had to, if they say they don't trust Maris, but they trust Demo, then damn it, put him in the middle, and then you put him in the middle. Yeah, you put Maris next to him, and you live with that. But yeah, those two I think will give me the best 1-2 currently constructed, unless you go out and get one.
Right. Okay, cool. All right, my man, keep doing what you're doing. Let's go, man. Cowboys. Peace.
Good talk. Yeah, thank you, G.
All right. Always.
Cautiously optimistic is the word I use for the Demo return, because it's a little bit different than last year where he had all off-season padded practices, training camp, things like that. And then he was able to hit the ground running in week 1, but then you saw, you saw the rust a little bit after that. But then he picked it right back up. It's a little different. I'm not doubting this kid though. I say all the time, it's just something about him that says he gonna figure it out. But I do think it's just not fair to be like, oh, Demo come back, man. He's our savior. Like, go get me a linebacker, bro. And then let Demo slide right in as your off ball, weak side guy, and just give me that fucking middle linebacker dog. Not gonna do it though. If that's fair too, Dre. You could argue it was was he drafted 23? Yeah, you could argue it was a new scheme too last year, but he had the new scheme to learn in the offseason, right, Dre? Now, he may be learning it, mental reps and things like that, but he's not taking those reps on field at camps or practices or joint practices or anything like that. So I just do think there is the fan base is putting a little bit too much on his plate. And if he is not ready, we know how this fan base is going to be. It turned on you in the heart. Hey, dog, I've seen it. I remember. Jake Ferguson was the fan. He was a darling. Now my dog, and that boy. It took an injury and not a good year with bad quarterback play for him to be like, for y'all to be Jake Ferguson in a heartbeat. So I just know how this fan base go. He come back and it's like, hey man, it's been 3 weeks and we ain't seen the same demo. Y'all coming at this kid, man. I think anything positive you get from DeMarvion Overshown is icing on the cake. Ripped up his knee again, back-to-back years in December. Right? December? November? Y'all want me to have these realistic expectations that this man gonna return to form as one of the best linebackers in the world right away without camp and practices and things like that? Man, be realistic, man. Give that man some grace. That's all I'm saying. Give him some grace. Don't get me started on Revel. I don't even want to see Revel this year. I think he need to just redshirt, because now that's a rookie who ain't showed nothing. So God forbid he gets in there and gets cooked a few times. Oh Lord, it's over. It's a wrap. It's a whole wrap. Demario Davis, name that keeps popping up. I'm all for it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I have not watched Demario Davis. Maybe he's not as good anymore. But yeah, sure. I'll take it. Take it. She said some fans criticize rookie. I mean, criticism is one thing, right? I think if it's fair criticism is one thing. But we've and I should be fair by saying some, not all, but I've just seen like drastic turns, no contact, no care in the world, just and that's, I guess, the fanatic part. And I gotta realize, like, hey man, let fans are fanatic. They're gonna be fanatic. It is what it is, right? I like to believe diehard fans are more contextualized things, but there's also the diehard fanatics that just, I don't give a shit. We win, do we lose? That's all they see. They couldn't tell you who Ryan Flanoy is. No joke. No know who Ryan Flanoy is. But he went off last week. Now they know. I can tell you who TJ Bass and Brian, but that's majority of NFL fans, and you need them. That's what I always say. It's not a knock to them, but just if you're going to have conversations with the other side of the fan sphere, just know who you're dealing with. So know who you're dealing with. Jordy says, Sky, what I think about James Houston? Fantastic start. We talked about him in a preseason and thought this was a detriment at the time to the pass rush. We're like, hey man, that's your best pass rush. That's your best pass rush. And this was before he's proven that to be. But it was because of the bag that he had, the things he showed us in preseason. And I don't think it was a fluky situation, because you see the technician in him. Like, okay, those traits actually translate. I don't care who he's going up against. But I do think there's a nuanced conversation to be had with James Houston, because we've all been screaming for like, more snaps, start him. Technically, he has increased his snaps, right? But I'm glad Shotty said what he said, because it was something that I had been thinking about too. And I talked about it with you guys, maybe on Sky and 2i show. I was like, maybe I should chill on the more snaps, because coming into this thing, he's a DPR guy. Coming into this thing, coach talked about, Shotty said, hey man, his size, the run ability, playing the run, he's done some good things, but that ain't really his thing. But we love that he's able to give us that effort and that pass rush ability on passing downs. And I'm like, yeah, let me relax, because he has a DPR, a designated pass rusher. And I don't want to take that away from him, because he's out here on first and second down, playing 70 snaps and getting worn the hell, doing the stuff that y'all get mad about the other guy, right? So I'm with Shotty here. I'm okay. Maybe instead of 25 to 27, you go from 27 to 32. But I think let's stay here, right? Let's get more improved play from others. But if you start creeping up into 55, 60, 65 snaps or whatever it may be, playing 65, 70, 75, 80% of the snaps, maybe we don't get the same juice, right? Maybe we don't get the same juice is all I'm saying. Oh, yeah, I battle Cowboy. Everybody loved throwing that one out. Got more sacks than Michael Parsons. Oh, my. Boy, I tell you, whatever makes us feel better. I feel you. Izaraku, rookie. Inconsistent, but he's a rookie, but improving, right? I think right now he's shown to be more impactful or more splashy in the run game. I'm waiting to see him put it all together consistently with his rush plan and pass, because we've seen that in college. And I do wonder if they'll start loosening up the reins, because it sounded like they weren't. Like he was just saying, hey, this is what we need you to do. If they asked him to be just to contain the edge guy, then why'd you draft him? Because I don't get that. Like let him get after it. But you see it, man. You see the skills. I still think I think he has to develop a counter, which he had. I thought he had. I mean, I've seen it in college, but far too often earlier in the year, it was run down right through your chest type guy, and it's like that ain't you, bro. Like, let's see the speed to power. Let's see the chop. Let's see it. That rip it's there though. I'll tell you that much. But you see the improvement. I never went into this thing trying to put it on Easy though. That's why I hardly bring him up, because it's like, oh, we got Easy, everything fine. Y'all remember when we did our breakdowns, like defensive player, rookie of the year? I was like, over and under sacks. I left it at 4.5 because the defensive rookie of the year had 4.5 last year. 8, 10. I was like, fam, the defensive rookie of the year, Jared Verse, had 4.5 sacks. It's not easy to get a sack in this league. Tough. And he's gonna get his, right? He's gonna get his. But I'm not worried about Easy. He'll continue to develop, and I think he'll continue to improve to be a solid guy. We're week 5. He's a rookie, being asked to do some different things than he may have done at Boston College. It's just, I think it's standard. I don't even really include him into a lot of this, because he never should have been asked to be more than a designated pass rusher this year. But circumstances changed, flips upside down on his head, and here we are. What you crying about now, Troy? You said, man, yeah. Are you listening to the conversation? I know. Boy, some of y'all just hate when you keep it a buck with your team, man. I'll just hate. Sorry, man. It just ain't gonna make you feel good to feel good. Gotta keep it a bean. Bam said, if we move Marquise Bell to outside linebacker along with agent 0, Mayor Shamar, we have speed, aggression at linebacker. Somebody brought up the whole Bell thing, and you know what? I'm not gonna fight you. I'm not gonna fight you on it just because of how, like, you have a linebacker issue right now. I ain't gonna fight you. I'll be real in that. Look, I know what we're gonna get if teams want to run like that, because we've seen it. But I'm just looking for answers, right? So, and if we're not going to get the answers outside the house, then you got to try some things inside the house. It may not be the answer, but I'm just trying to find something, because right now, collectively, that room is just really weird. Somebody jumped up in here. Before I get to these supers, 757. What's up?
What's going on, Scott? How you doing, brother? How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm all right. My name is Mo. I haven't called in before. I've been listening. Yeah. I'm on the West Coast, but I'm from the East Coast. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to you out there.
You listen early then. Okay. Shouts out to you.
I mean, I try to get up and get a little sky in the morning before I get my day started. So I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
I've been inspired, man, listening to you. I actually started my little YouTube channel myself, man, because I love doing this too. So just trying to get things off the ground. But I certainly enjoy listening to you, all y'all information. Y'all spit gold, man. You spit gold, and I love your insight. So I thought I'd call in. I really, getting excited and trying to be realistic about this year and the season. But I wanted to bounce this off of you just to see what your thoughts were. I feel like the direction that the team is going in under Shoddy and his administration is a little bit different than what we've seen in the past, in the sense that we've had good teams, and we've had a lot of talent on these teams, shout out to Jerry Jones. I don't understand how he's such a poor GM, but we keep continuing to get talent. I don't understand if the GM is responsible for getting talent or not, but I'm trying to figure out how people, make those calls on that. But anyway,
Will McClay. That's why.
We know it's Will McClay, but a lot of people.
I give him credit for hiring him.
Well, but my point is most people don't talk about Will McClay. They don't always know who he is, but they know when the team doesn't perform, and they're ready to blame Jerry on that. But they never will give him that credit for the talent on the team. But the point is this, though. The teams have faltered down the stretch.
I don't know Will McClay. You ain't paying attention to your team.
No. I understand. When you listen to the media and you listen to them, they don't talk about Will McClay. You know that. They're going to talk about Jerry. That's not going to move the needle on big networks. They're not. Yeah. Will McClay's name is not coming up. We know him. I know him. You know him.
Jerry's going to move the needle. You heard what he said. I'm going to stir the pot. Yeah, Will McClay's name ain't going to stir the pot. I'm going to do it. Yeah.
Correct. So we know how that is. But the point is this, though. That's more of an aside. The point is that this team has faltered down the stretch because we've been so dependent on whether or not we have the Jimmys and the Joes to perform. And so that will get you to 12-5 because you're going to dump truck teams when you got Michael Parsons covering up for your holes and you got Dak playing well, offensive line, et cetera, right? But the bottom line is when that playing field is leveled against top talent and your holes are exposed, how do you manage that? Football is an attrition sport. There's teams getting injured players. We obviously got a ton of them. But this year feels a little bit different in the sense that I love that Shoddy's trying to install an actual program, a system that is sustainable in which you're not dependent on the talent, specifically only the talent. In other words, when you have a scheme and a system, you can plug another player in that may not be as talented, but he knows what to do, and he may not get the exact separation that CD gets, but he's getting open. Okay, and of course you got to have you got to have Dak out there because he's controlling it. But the point is, this is different, and this is to me is more sustainable. I feel good. I feel good about the direction. I don't know what the season's going to be because we got some holes on defense, obviously, but I think. And you can tell me if I'm wrong, getting rid of Michael Parsons while a step back on the defense is good because it rips the Band-Aid off. Michael Parsons has been covering for our holes with a 2-second pass rush, 1-second pass rush to cover for the people on our defense that aren't getting it done. Those people need to be exposed, and they need to be replaced, and they need to be upgraded. Because that's not going to get it done against the top teams. So I love the direction that this is becoming. I don't know what the final result's going to be, especially this season, but I do like that direction, and I thought I'd throw that out to you. The system that he's installing, even with Eberflus, he likes Eberflus because he's installing a systematic defense that is like, I don't necessarily need all dudes everywhere in order to be able to execute this defense. If we do it the right way, we can still sustain ourselves if we execute at a high level, which is different than just having the best dudes in every position. Because you're never gonna have that unless you're like Philly and you got Howie Roseman.
It's a lot, and there's a lot. There's some of that I agree with. Some of that I'm like, I don't know. So the shoddy part, let's go offense first. Yes, something I've been kind of preaching about in that he's building a foundation offensively. I do think we can't dismiss the Jimmys and Joes because I think getting a Jimmy and Joe like George Pickens has allowed your offense to stay stabilized. I do think without a George Pickens, this thing looks a little more weird. And like you said, Dak Prescott is covering up holes. I mean, if we want to use a Micah analogy, then do you get rid of Dak Prescott to cover up the hole? Like, no, you don't do that. But let's stay on offense side of the ball real quick. I'm with you. I do think we're building something really, really good and sustainable offensively because we are marrying the Jimmys and Joes with the scheme. I thought for many years
Correct.
we were leaning
Correct.
on just the Jimmys and Joes, the Dak Prescotts of the world, the CeeDee
Correct.
Lambs, or whatever.
That's
And,
right.
Yeah.
All the offensive linemen, everyone. Correct.
Yeah, I thought where you were going to go with the talent aspect is something I've been saying for a long time. It's like the NFL is tough. Like, yeah, you're right. When we go up against a lesser quality team, you can out Jimmy and Joe these guys. But what happens when you go up against a team that's either A, better than you with the Jimmys and Joes, or as good as
That's
you?
right.
To me, the difference
That's
then
right.
becomes
Correct.
coaching. Can my coaching,
That's right.
give us that leg up or match the opposing? And I don't think we've had that. I think we do now offensively. So, yeah, I really like that we're going there on offense. Defensively, I would just agree to disagree. I ain't gonna fight you on the whole greater good, get rid of Micah to expose this and that. The only way I would go with that is if you took an aggressive approach to, because I don't think you're making are you saying you make the trade purposefully to expose this, or you're saying they made the trade and now it's exposed and this is a good thing because it's been exposed? I will only agree that, I will never agree it's a good thing. I'll just go there. I don't think that's a good thing. But I'll give you some grace here if they realize, oh snap, we've been exposed. Now let me get aggressive as all hell and go get some damn dudes. Then okay, cool. They realize they've been exposed by getting rid of their best defensive player that you said has been covering up some holes. And now we have to go fill those holes, and not just with Band-Aids like they did in the free agency, but with dudes. If they don't do that, I don't get how it's a greater good then. By actively making your defense worse and not addressing, as you would say, the holes that defender was covering up.
Correct. No, you're saying what I'm saying. Yeah, getting rid of Micah, when you talk about an all-world, pass rusher, et cetera, and so forth.
Who the hell are you, my guy? The caller wants me to give my input on my show. That's what I'm going to do. RLS. Yeah, y'all fools be in here thinking this y'all show. This ain't your show. Now you want to call in and be a part of it? Come on in. You can get this smoke. My bad. Go ahead. They don't know who they dealing with. I ain't got the do-rag on. They be mad as hell when I just give y'all an answer to the question or my thoughts. Oh well, just relax, my guy.
That's why, dude. That's why I call in, is to get your. I mean, you're Sky, bro. You got insight. That's why I'm trying to get.
Yeah, you
your
want
feedback
me to give you a response. You want me to say, all right, man, appreciate the call. Hang up. Like, you want me to give you a response?
No,
fans are strange, man.
I think callers got under. If they ever called in on a Fox or ESPN and got hung up on because they couldn't even get their point out, they would appreciate the fact that you actually allowed a conversation to go, bro. I'm very thankful of that.
Hey,
to get back to what you said.
Back to Troy, you absolutely right. I don't know how that's a bad thing. Troy said, "I want it all." Let me ask you a question. Do you want it all, sir?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah. Cowboy fans, do y'all want it all, or y'all just want some? I don't know anybody that does anything at a high level that just wants some. We want it all.
Of course not.
Come on, man. Go ahead.
So I'm right with you on that. Getting rid of Micah doesn't help.
Call into the show. Alex. Call into the show, please. Go ahead, because I don't want to keep interrupting you.
Getting rid of Micah does not help if you're not going to use all of the cap space, the extra draft picks, and so forth to find out, or even the playing time, like playing the young guys, because as a rocker, you've got to play a lot because you don't have Micah, right? And so getting all of that in order this year is why I don't know where this team is going to go. But the point is, you felt like you couldn't complete your defense because you didn't have the cap space. Okay, fine. That's what you feel like you're going to do. You're going to get rid of an all-world player. All right, great. Take that money, take that capital, and get a B+ here, an A- here, a B- here, and now you lost your A+, but you got like 3 Bs, 2 As, and an A-, and your defense is better. If you're going to do that, then now we have something. But if you're just going to, I want to believe that this early part of the year has shown where our warts are, and this is what's happened throughout the regular season. We got the offense, we go up, we dump truck teams, we beat the Giants 40-0, and then we get to the playoffs, and then you got Marquise Bell ass out there trying to play linebacker, getting dump trucked by, Green Bay. We got no corners, you know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, everyone's like, well, what happened? Bro, we had holes everywhere. They just got exposed because we either don't have a system to cover up for it, and we definitely don't have the Joes when it comes down to the playoffs. Not the regular season, the playoffs. So I am hoping that Shawty – go ahead.
This is why dialogue is important, because you're providing the answers that to the questions I had. Because I didn't for a second, I didn't think you actually meant, hey, trading him is good because we're exposed and then leave it at that. You're saying by getting exposed, now you do something about it to make yourself better than previously before. Right. Now, you can argue if that's going to happen, if you're going to be better than when you had the player or not. But you're saying, all right, we're exposed. Now, go make your squad better than before with the capital that you have, whether it be money or picks. That's my estimation. Is that what you're getting at here?
Yes, sir, because by getting – the thing is you didn't get exposed.
Weird.
You didn't get exposed for nothing. You did have $35 million in cap space and 2 draft picks and a 3-time Pro Bowler at defensive tackle for your pain and for your, discovery of these warts. And so you didn't just let them walk out the door. You got a haul to a certain extent. We'll see if it becomes a haul, but you got some stuff to work with to replace that. Now, can you do a force multiplier, and can you turn that into multiple good players? And I don't know if any one player we draft is going to have the juice that Micah Parsons has. But I don't think you need that to win at all. With this offense, if you got a defense that just ain't giving it up, forcing you to kick field goals, turning the ball over, and just getting some stops 4 or 5 times a game, we still don't trump the teams. You got the best kicker in the league. You got the best kick returner in the damn league. You got an explosive offense. Your defense don't have to be top 2. I mean, if it is, you basically have the Philadelphia Eagles.
That's what I said this morning. I said, I ain't even asking for the defense to be the top 5, top 10 defense, bro. Just give me a complimentary defense right now, because I think that'll give us a chance in the playoffs if you can make it there. But I don't think you have a playoff defense.
100%.
Yeah.
No, we do not have a playoff defense right now. We got a defense that's good enough to win us some games in a regular season.
That,
but this defense have to build. And
in close, my boy. In close, we got a couple more. All right.
Okay, I'm gonna roll. I appreciate your time. So say for instance, we end the year with a defense that's ranked 18th in the league, right? Well, there's 2 things that happen. Number one, the defense obviously moved up.
Improved.
But to be honest, where we are now at 31, 32, 33, 30, 30 or wherever we are now, to move up to 18, you got to play at a level of like 10 to offset that the ranking, right? Because you know what I'm saying, because of the volume. So if the defense starts to play at a level that gets them from 30 to 18, they've been playing at a high level, then the ranking won't matter. It's the level that they're playing at that point. Yep. And if that's the case, bro, we have something. We got something. We already got injuries, so the offense can show that it can play without injuries. How many more injuries can you have? I'm not on wood. I'm not going to say that. I'll be damned. I take that back.
Great point. And the only thing I'll add to that is what are the rankings in what I call the pillar statistics, right? Points per game, turnovers, red zone defense. If you're top 10 in those things, well, obviously for us also run defense, you're on to something here. Good call, Mo. I got you saved in here, man.
Sir.
More money.
Thank you, sir. Jamie, brother. I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, man. All you guys. Thank you.
Yep. Hey, and look, respectfully, by the way, well, not you, Mo. I'm talking to RLS and anybody here, because one thing about me calling people out, I might be animated, like say a Busta Rhymes, but try to be as respectful as possible, and then invite you to call in. What I ain't gonna do is I've seen some people go stupid on y'all in the chat, not y'all, but other people in the chat, and be super disrespectful. I ain't gonna do all that. I'll say call in. I ain't call in, right? And he said he will. All right, cool. Appreciate that. Troy tell you, I don't know. Me and Troy, we go at it all the damn time, but we don't throw blows at each other. 346, what's up?
Hey, good morning, Scott. What's going on, man? Thank you for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
What's happening? Hey, man, look, I like the discussion. It's great. I try to be brief with it, man. But look, all of this is going to, again, hedge to me on what Brian Schottenheimer decides he wants to do. People have stated it, and they've made great points. You have as well. Schottenheimer is taking the time. He's building a program. He's building a system. He's got an approach, and then he's implementing it. And I think that's true. And I don't give Jerry Jones a lot of credit for anything on the football side of this stuff. But I am giving him credit for allowing Schottenheimer to at least put his own stamp on what he wants to do and how he wants to do it. That started when I kind of knew it changed when Jerry let Schottenheimer go ahead and build his own staff. So that gave me a sense of hope. So anything that we do in terms of improving the team, personnel-wise, decision-making-wise, God, I hope that's driven by Shotty and not by Jerry. I don't care about Jerry taking credit. I don't. I really don't. You can't shut him up anyway. He's flipping off fans, and he's getting in a fight with players and their agents. That ain't nothing new. We ain't seen. Yeah. That's not something we haven't seen before with Jerry. I don't care if Jerry takes the credit as long as he don't make the decision. If Schottenheimer drives the decision making, like I said, I think I may have said it to you or somebody else once before. Hey, look, I don't care if Jerry takes the credit as long as Shotty is making the decision. I know it's kind of a corporate thing. Jerry talks about we all make the decision here. And that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. If Jerry wants it like that, he wants it like that. Jerry wants to get up there and say, I did this. That's fine. I don't care. He don't pay Will McClay to stand up there and take credit. Will McClay don't want to take no credit. And Will McClay ain't doing no bad job. This has never been about talent. It's been about the coaching. You were right, guys. This has been about the coaching. And we got somebody here finally that's modern, that's competent, and that has an idea of what he wants to do. And he's not trying to, he's not trying to bake the cookies too quickly. He knows what he needs to do. He's giving even loose room to work and all of that stuff. So as long as Schottenheimer can somehow convince Jerry that, hey, man, take the credit, just let me do the work. If Jerry lets that happen, I think we're going to win. Huh?
If I had to guess, I don't think Shotty really cares about that. He probably is more so be talking to Will. I'm telling y'all, Jerry's not. He's not in the trenches like that.
Mm-hmm.
This is Will McClay. This is Will McClay, Adam Pacifica, Stephen Jones, and then Jerry will come in at the very end. What's happening? I need to know what's going on because I'm going on a radio show, in these meetings, and I want to know what's happening. But Jerry is not leading the charge in this, and that's why it's the most unique one of because I think the Bengals were like this at one point. I don't think they are anymore, but one of, if not the most unique hierarchies in the front office, is that it's 4, 5, 6 hands all on the cooks, I should say, in the kitchen. And sometimes that can be good, sometimes it can be bad, but that's just the way it is here. And it's Will McClay, it's Jerry Jones, it's Stephen Jones, it's Adam Pacifica, it's all these people, as opposed to a general manager who's on a hot seat that has to make or break, or he's out of here. That's not how it rolls here. So I don't think he's in the trenches. I don't think he needs to go to Jerry. I think he needs to go to Will. And then it's Will and Steven who have to – I don't even think they have to persuade – unless it's like a crazy deal. If it's a deal where it does involve the first or it does involve, a lot of cash up front, then, yeah, he'll have to persuade – you have to persuade Steven, number one, and then persuade Jerry. But if it's a Jonathan – let me pull this up again. And I'm just talking about trades, right? If it's a Jonathan Hankins, Michael Bennett, Matt Castle, Eli – yeah, I don't think Jerry gives a damn. But I do think once it starts involving high assets, that's where he'll put his 2 cents in and he'll nick something or he'll give it to go. That's how it is in Dallas. Like you just got to find a way to make that work. And not only just that, the hires and all that stuff. Like I got to give him credit for hiring Will and sticking with Will. But when things don't go well, yeah, Will gets the smoke too. Last couple drafts, yeah, Will get that smoke, 100%.
Yeah,
Jerry ain't leading the drafts.
That's not what I'm saying. No, he's not. Of course not. Jerry doesn't know as much football as people think. Jerry knows how to pay what people know football.
He know football. He knows I don't want to say don't know football, but Jerry more worried about the business and the other part of football right now. He's not a general manager. He ain't in them trenches.
Yeah. No, he don't know nobody like that. He knows what we all know about football. He's got a fan's knowledge of football to me. And he don't have to have trench knowledge. Again, I would just like it to be Schottenheimer's call ultimately. Schottenheimer don't want credit, don't have to take credit. But as long as that's it, that's what it is for me.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Carlos. Thanks a lot, man. I love the call. And, hey, man, look, we're going to let these cookies bake. Schottenheimer got it. I don't care. Yeah. They ain't got to do nothing. But if they win 9-10 games, I'm all right this year. This ain't about this year. It's about next year. We're getting it set up to run.
Fair enough.
So as long as he can keep people healthy and get his stuff in place, get people in and out, hey, let Schottenheimer do his work, man. Let him do it. So thank you, Scott. Thank you, man.
Yes, sir. Hey, DeGuru, I think so. He said we get credit for hiring Shotty. I think so, because when he hired Shotty, the whole world was like, what the F? And make no mistake about it, this was definitely a Jerry, Steven, this was a Jones type of move here. Now, maybe Steven probably wanted elsewhere or Jerry probably wanted somebody else, but, I mean, they didn't do the normal search. They zeroed in on a guy that a lot of people was like, what the hell? This is the guy? And fair. Because I mean, wasn't a whole lot there, but he should get credit if Shotty is the guy to get us over the hump. And that's the thing, right? Is how much credit he would get if he did just hire a Les Snead, a Howie Roseman. What's my man's name up there? Brian's guy in Seattle where he was building them team. And we won. And he wasn't doing shit. You get credit for that because you hired him. But when you hire Jason Garrett, Dave Campo, Mike McCarthy, yeah, with the smoke, dog. And you don't go all in, that's what's going to happen. Best thing that happened to us, though, man, y'all can say what you want to say. It was Will McClay. Boy, we saw what it was like before Will McClay between 96 and 2014 or whatever it was. Oh, Bill, too. My bad. Bill Parcells, I think. Bill Parcells and Will McClay have kept this thing afloat. Give him credit for hiring Bill. If you can, whatever reasonings you want to say to it. Me and B. Bird have talked about that. But then the way it ended, you got to say, damn it, Jerry. You know what I mean? Just get the hell out the way. But he didn't want to get out the way. This ain't my word. It's him. He wants to be. That's what he want to do. And somehow we just have to be able to win in that manner. Somehow this turns into this Jerry show again, but it's nauseating to me because it's like, I mean, I don't understand how anybody can even fight for this dude. It just is what it is. When you have a 30-year situation and we always want to say, well, this and that. My one thing I go back to, who hired him? And I'll just drop the mic. That's simple, bro. Big Amish, man. What up, Big Amish? Ain't talked to you in a couple weeks.
Hey, Skywalker. Thanks for the opportunity. It's been a little while. The first thing I got to tell you is...
2-1.
Well, what's that?
How you feeling? 2-1. Last time we talked, I think we were what? 1-2 or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah, we were 1-2. Now, but the first thing I got to tell you is, how about them Cowboys? Yo!
Oh, okay, Big Amish. All right.
Got to let it out once in a while. I want to talk about Sam Williams, but before I do, I just want to point out two things. Well, the main thing. We had 2 overtime games. That kind of skew a couple of things. Skews the defense, the rankings, and it skews the offense. Although we do have an elite, almost elite offense, we're missing one component, and that is that explosive running back, a Marshall Faulk type. Now, we already could have him in-house, so that could blend itself out towards the end of the season. So I'm not worried about that so much, but I would. We
just happened to miss a Hall of Fame, arguably one of the top 5 dual threat running backs. That's all we missed of all time. Come on, Big Al, you wild boy.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Hey,
I'm saying if you could get one. I'm not saying I said a Marshall Faulk type. I didn't say Marshall Faulk.
Okay.
I said a type.
Well, that type is
All
in
right?
the Hall
I
of
mean,
Fame.
you're not going to get it, just like a Michael Irvin. You're not going to get Michael Irvin, although Pickens plays in some capacities. There's some Irvin in him.
Oh.
He's not Michael Irvin, but he has some in him as far as that hand fighting and making those plays when he's in double coverage or not. He can make those crazy plays. But anyway, I wanted to talk about Sam Williams and why he's underperforming, and he's had his injuries. I mean, I think he's had 2 ACL injuries, correct?
I believe just one, if I'm not mistaken. At least
I could be right. I thought he had 2, just like Dick.
Maybe prior he might went high school or college. I don't recall, but could be right there. I just think he had one in the pros though.
Okay, maybe I'm thinking of Diggs. But regardless, he had one the year before. I mean, he had an ACL, right?
Yeah, last year.
I mean, that's why he was out last season. So, I mean, is that whole? I mean, I've not seen the preseason as much. I don't know. I forgot how he played in training camp and stuff. You would have better insight in that. How much do you think that injury, just like with Diggs, I think Diggs' injury is, he's been pushed to the starting lineup, and he shouldn't be playing all these plays, but it has an impact on you, especially recovering and what your limitations and what you could do. But what could you tell me about Sam Williams? Because to me, I'm still counting on him being the breakout defensive lineman, the edge rusher that we need, but that's going to be in the second half of the season. But are we starting to see that? But what could you tell me about Sam Williams? His injury, how it might have impacted him and going forward.
Because it's kind of circle the wagons here. Going into the season, for me, Sam Williams was just, going to be a part of this thing. I wasn't really trying to lean on him. Even if he was a starter, he was going to be a guy that, that line he was going to rotate, right? And he wasn't going to have to play, as many snaps. But circumstances change, and now coming off that injury, he has to play a little bit more snaps than maybe you would have liked. Again, coming off of an ACL, a guy who never was really like uber bendy, but he was athletic and strong, didn't have a whole lot of pass rush moves, but he has some pop to him. I do think you see the injury, the effect on that kind of explosiveness. I don't think it's there right now. Look, he just tore his ACL, so maybe that doesn't return all the way until the following year. So do you see a less explosive player? You still see a try-hard guy. Like he has a motor. Boy, I don't even know if he has a tool in the bag. And I'm not even trying to be funny. He's a one-way player. He's just trying to run right through you. But if they loop him, he can use the athleticism he does have to get home. But I'd caution, expecting him to be this breakout player. But I do hope that the sack that he got this past week gives him some confidence moving forward, and we can get a better version of Sam. But you're not wrong in being disappointed. I mean, him, Fowler, I was disappointed in both of those guys, and they played a good game last week.
Yeah, well, Fowler not so, but Sam Williams, to me, not only his speed, but I remember from his hits, he has that Rolando McClain. I remember that thumper. When he hits you, I mean, you go down even before they hit you. You were going. So, but he also reminds me of, again, I'm just saying, he's not the manster Randy White, but he has so much. He's not just fast and quick. He is powerful. I mean, to me, he has these ingredients that can make him special. He is special in a way, but he's not performing as such. That's all. That's why I said, to me, I expected him to have a breakout season because he has the ingredients to be special, and not many players on our team have that.
Does he, But
on the defensive line. I mean, now we have Hank. I mean, we had Micah Parsons. Okay, he's no longer on our team. I'm not saying that. You could argue. Go ahead.
I think you might be talking about like he's just really athletic, or was, because that's
I don't know. That's why the injury. I mean,
I don't think he has any other special traits as a pass rusher at all. But he was a special athlete. Now, but this injury,
he ran a 4.4.
Yeah, special athlete for sure, no doubt about it. I don't think he's special.
Bench press. I forgot how many reps on the bench. I mean, he's a powerful edge rusher. That kind of combination of speed and power is rare. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you're not wrong. No, I'm not saying I'm not disagreeing with him being was a special. I don't think he's special at this moment. That injury is taking some of that away.
Yeah, he's certainly not being special.
There's some, when you're 6'4", 265, and you run a 4.4, and that is special from an athletic run standpoint. From a pass rusher standpoint, I mean, you tell me what you think is special about it. I don't think he has that, but put him in the right situation, use him to his strengths. I think he can do some good things for you.
Well, to me, it would be a bull rush or his ability to use his strength, because it's not just he has speed and power. That's what I'm trying to say. Maybe he's not coordinated both into one package.
I think you're thinking about
he reminds me of Randy White.
He doesn't
have
a
raw Randy White.
Oh boy. Oh Amish.
A raw Randy White. Because don't forget, hold on. Randy White was a linebacker, and for 3 years, Tom Landry didn't know how to use him, and they threw him into the defensive line, and he became that special player. So all I'm saying is everyone has their special power. Let's let the coaches coach them and put them in that place. And I'm hoping, that's all I'm saying. I love Sam Williams. I want him to break out. That was one of my special players, and I wanted Deuce Vaughn, but we don't have him. But anyway. I'm a little sad about that.
My man. Hey, appreciate you calling in. Appreciate you calling in, man. Oh, no, I'm not.
One more time. How about them Cowboys? Y'all.
How about them? See, I'm the bad guy. Can y'all? I'm sorry, this is terrible radio. I just need to. I'm working on myself. I'm working on when I hear nonsense. I'm working on it, y'all. I'm working on it. I'm a little speechless. Almost. I tried to save him. Y'all saw, right? When he first mentioned it, I was like, okay, he went past it. Thank God he went past that thing. Big Amish said, hold on, let me run that thing back. He remind me of Randy White. Let me take a quick break. That a little stinky. I ain't gonna lie, Big Amish. You ended that thing a little stinky. But that's cool. It's all good, man. I got a solution for that. Shouts out to Mando, ladies and gentlemen. If you need something to cover up the stench, whether it be a car like that or whether it be you sweating, working out outside and got a job that's tough on you in that manner, or the Cowboys just got you sweating a whole lot every single week, because that's what the Cowboys do to us. Be sweating. I just want to talk to y'all about something that I've been using that has been working. I've been telling y'all this since we've partnered up with them a long time ago, and that's Mando Whole Body Deodorant. It's not a regular deodorant. It's a clinically strength deodorant with sweat control, made for people who stay active and on the go, whether you're working out, running errands, or just staying or trying to make it through the day. This holds, and it holds for 72 hours of sweat and odor protection. Doesn't have the overwhelming or overpowering scent. No sweat stains. You're just confident all day, every single day. Let me tell you about the promo code here. Use the promo code STEEL at shopmando.com. You'll get 20% off site-wide and free shipping. Even better than the promotion we had earlier. 20% off site-wide and free shipping. And in my opinion, if you just want to kind of start out, see what's good, they got a starter pack. That starter pack right there in the bottom left on my, or bottom right on my screen. It has the deodorant it comes with. It has the cream tube deodorant. It has 2 free products of your choice, whether you want the mini body wash or you want the wipes. And again, free shipping. Use the promo code STEEL, STEELE at shopmando.com for the 20% off site-wide. Mando saved me, man, because it was getting a little stinky after that one there, man. Proud of myself. I didn't go off there. Refresh these super chats. Appreciate it. Big Amish is always gonna give me something to make me go, find my do-rag, but I ain't gonna do that to Big Amish. I wonder. Big Amish, Lenny Williams said one time he watched television till the television went off. Did they have television up there, Big Amish? We just messing with you, Big Amish. Cause you know, I don't want to speak for them. I watched this. I think it was called the Plats or something. I don't know how I stumbled into it. My wife had me stumble into it. I think they were Amish. Maybe they weren't. I don't know. Did they have television? And did you watch it till it went off, or did you watch it at all? Cause there ain't no way. Shouts out to Below the Heavens.
Super chat.
He dropped 2 and said, CD listed as questionable on the fantasy apps. Got any word? I do. We'll know more today though, right? So I think they want to get to the Panthers game. I'm sorry, apologies. That's this week. They want to get to the Washington game. I feel like had this been either a different opponent, had the Cowboys been even worse record, I feel like CD would try to give it a go. I think not even try to give it a go. I bet you he tried to give it a go now. I think they give him the go. If I had to guess, wouldn't be surprised. Let me say that. If they say now one more week and one more week with Booker and the return date is Washington. We'll know more though today. Today's the first practice report. Should be coming out here shortly. So we'll know more. Troy said, what were we talking about? We were talking about before the Manster thing or after? Dro, appreciate you, man. Always showing love in the chat.
Super chat.
He dropped 5 and he said, I ain't worried about no Rico Dowdle or Pokemon battle. He gonna be up in Ish Creek without a battle. Cowboys in 20. By 20, not in 20, by 20. You know, this definitely this has a Jets game feel. You know, you watch the Jets, you say, okay, they got a good run game, got a good running back. Quarterback, they got a good receiver out there, but the other receiver, Now, I will say this, no slight. They have better weapons. Xavier Leggette's better than their opposite receiver in New York. Hunter Renfrow, who, by the way, looks like a 5th grade teacher at an elementary school in the middle of bumfuck. Here we go. God damn, man. My bad. Egypt. I mean, look at him, man. He played in the NFL. Tommy Tremble's a pretty solid athletic tight end, too. Thank you. See, Toxic Tom gets it. But it has that feel of it's not a good offense, man. But they can run the ball a little bit with Rico Dowdle. So don't keep it close and let them run at you. So wouldn't shock me if they beat now by 20. But yeah, I think they can beat them pretty handily here. See, y'all done got me on here rambling and on the slip. Apologies if any children are listening to any ladies in the chat. But in my line, did y'all see? I want me to put the picture back up. When I was putting this together, I'm like, something doesn't add up here. Something's not quite fitting in this situation. You know, Rico Dowdle, Ted McMillan, Xavier Legette, Tommy Tremble. Who the hell was this dude? Oh, that's Hunter Renfrow. I honestly never thought about what he looked like. I always seen him play with the helmet on. I had a 5th grade teacher that looked like him. Said he looked like he worked at Walmart. I mean, he'll route me up. Don't get it twisted, because sometimes I surprise you. Delay Heaven says, still, why haven't Jermaine Pratt, linebacker, been linked to the Cowboys, and why aren't Jerry trying to bring him in. Is he a free agent now? Yesterday we had this conversation. I remember him from Cincy, Super Bowl year. He kind of got real big, but then I also remember I thought he's starting to go down in Cincy. Then he went to the Raiders last year, so I guess he on the street. I don't know. I haven't watched Jermaine Pratt film, so I can't really speak on what he could bring. I mean, look, I'm all for options though. I'm all for options. Winthrop can play. Hey, shouts out to Carlito. He said, first time here on live. What's cracking? Hey, man, if you just popped in, you missed a good one. I think this is a good show, but you probably caught a lot of nonsense. That's the thing about our show. They're gonna give you the goods, the analysis, the Cowboys breakdown, but we're gonna have a good time too. We're gonna review other teams. Very inclusive, engaging with the chat, phone lines, all that. I like to say we have a pretty good, unique program going on over here, man. So welcome. Appreciate you. Oh, Pratt signed with the Colts. Well, there you go. Ace Boogie. Now, that's the one for me. If you're not going to make a trade, if you're not going to try to get a dude, Eric Kendrick's the one for me. Yeah. Toxic Tom said, Hunter Renfrow is the face under the Vader mask. Boy, y'all crazy. Look, see, I done messed up. I meant to lock the phone lines, but to be fair, we in overtime. 210, I'll let you in. What's up, 210? What you got for us on the way out?
Hey, what's up, Scott? Hey, this guy that you just read my comment about the Jermaine Pratt.
Gotcha. Okay. Now you're coming.
Okay. Yeah. Now when he was with Cincinnati, his last 4 years in Cincinnati, he was getting over 100 tackles. He was getting 120, 130 tackles, few interceptions, couple of fumble recoveries, forced fumbles. Like he playing the linebacker spot real good during Cincy.
Look,
he demanded a trade.
All I can do is take your word for it. I ain't studied Jermaine Pratt. I do remember at the end of that, he did. I think we played him, and that's what made me look him up. And I was like, doesn't seem like a dude to me, but I take your word for it. I can go look up some things while you're here, though.
Yeah. Now his very last year in Cincinnati, he had like 143 tackles. And but
tackles don't impress me. Yeah. This leaves out so much context. Tackles don't impress.
He had like 4 interceptions too.
That impresses me. Yeah, that impresses me for sure.
Yeah. Like he good at pass coverage. He good from the linebacker spot in pass coverage.
Okay.
But he did his thing. In 2024, which was his last year in Cincinnati, he made it to the Raiders in February of this year, where he demanded a trade from Cincinnati, and when the Raiders got him, the Raiders gave him like $4.5 million for 1 year.
I haven't watched film. I'm just gonna look up some. His last year in Cincinnati, he had his most missed tackles.
Okay.
He did after 3 picks. He had his second highest passer rating against, or it looks like 103.5. The tackles, yeah, he had his most tackles that year. But again, the tackle part, I don't care for the amount of tackles. I want to see the depth of it, and I'll get to that in a second. Played a lot of snaps in Cincinnati. Right. He seems like he plays a lot of snaps every year. I mean, again, I'm all for answers. Like, is he a free agent? He's with the Raiders right now.
Yeah, he the Raiders just cut him. The Raiders
cut him. That's why his name keeps. Okay. Oh, Matt just said he's in Indy. Nah, he's in Indy, bro.
Indy just signed him already?
Yeah, he with the Colts, man.
Yo,
there you go.
They jumped on real fast because the Raiders just cut him Monday.
Yeah, he probably claimed him or something, yeah, or signed him, brought him in and signed him.
Yeah, I was just curious though, kind of why, his name hadn't, you know what I'm saying? Like normally certain players kind of pop up,
I'd imagine because he's not a needle mover. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of us are looking for needle movers. He could be a side. He might be better than what you got, and that's cool too. But I think you see the names are popping up in regard the Max Crosbys of the world, the Hendricksons of the. Yeah, I'm saying those dudes are needle movers. But I guess everything got to be a needle mover though, right? Like if you pair a Hendrickson with Pratt, then that that's effective too. So I think that's probably why you ain't hearing that pop up. But it did pop up yesterday, I guess, because he got cut and names were coming up, and I didn't go look at them though, but appreciate that.
Yeah, man. First time caller, man. Appreciate the show. Watch the show, man. Support. Keep doing your thing.
Thank you, sir.
I want to say this, man. I'm gonna get on out if it's okay. Defensively, though, I'm a defensive guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool where we at on offense. Like, I love our offense. Like I feel like several years ago that we should have got off into the innovation of the things that the Shanahans has already always done incorporated throughout the years. You know what I'm saying? Like we never evolved just from our coaching. I always felt like coaching held that back and held just the team back and hold. But defensively, I do feel that Trayvon gonna keep getting better. He getting his legs back up under. He had to work through camp of trying to come back. He didn't get to take practice snaps with them guys. None of that. You know what I'm saying? Like Bland gonna be straight. You got two all pro corners on the outside. It don't get no better. Only thing we need to do is just hope that, you know what I'm saying, and let them show us that they gonna continue to play like that. That's all we need out of them.
Been a while.
We straight. You know what I'm saying? We don't ever get to get them on the field together either, though. Still, we can't never keep them up.
Yeah, you ain't lying, but boy, it'd be nice to see some all proness back. Got to keep it a bean. They ain't all pro now, but
no, not these. But look, check this out. Check this out, though. Things get to happen. It's a crazy world in that sports world. You know what I'm saying? Like guys go weeks without getting a sack, and then all of a sudden they still find a way to end the year with 10 sacks or 8 sacks, or few interceptions. Or
sure, man. We all hoping for the best. We all hoping that Trayvon finish with 7 picks and Bland get you 5 and Sam get you 8 sacks and Fowler finish with 10. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. We all hoping for that for sure. Right now, to date, I'm just looking for baby steps with all these players defensively because we got a long way to go. So I understand to get there, we got to take a step forward. That's all. That's one week at a time.
And I was just saying just to say that I think we just need a linebacker, man, and a DN.
Yeah.
And I believe that we might. I believe if we make that move forward, I'm talking about a legitimate DN. Stop with all this, Go get somebody that's gonna be there for the next few years and that's gonna be able to make an impact for the next few years. If you're gonna trade to one of them picks, do it. Make sure it's that type of player, not tripping. Fully with it. I feel like if we can get an upgrade some type of way in the linebacker, and we might be all right, But that's just me though. DN linebacker, upgrade to linebacker, and I feel like we're straight. I feel like
linebacker, defensive end. I'd go needle mover at defensive end, but if I can get one at linebacker too, I'll take it, man. Hey, appreciate the call. Good stuff. Don't look in the chat, man. Don't look in the chat.
I ain't with it.
I appreciate it. Right. Hey, yo, Toxic Tom. Boy, you sure you wasn't no comedian in your past life? Man said he called him from an Xbox controller. Sometimes it'd be hard, but to be fair, I guess sometimes it's hard to hear me on the phones too. So, it ain't always them. But boy kept going in and fainting. And if y'all notice, I was trying to get rid of one sense by squinting, because they say when you eliminate one sense, the other one heightens. When you parallel parking, I don't know if the other folk do it, but we turn down the music. I don't even know why we do it. What the hell we do it for? I guess nowadays they got the camera, so you ain't gotta worry about that. But I was like, what you say? It reminded me when I used to work with an elderly woman, and she was nosy as a mug. And I guess people was talking, and she said, "Oh, let me take off my glasses so I can hear them better." I said, "Oh, that's a bar, Mary." Take off my glasses so I can hear them better. Shouts out to Mary. Y'all funny. I think we good now. All right, man. Let me go ahead and press this button. Shouts out to Sleeper. Shouts out to Mando. Make sure I use my code on all those platforms, by the way. Use my code on Sleeper and use my code on Mando. Show the support if y'all will. I'll be back Friday. We'll break down. Somebody asked us earlier, what about the Panthers defense, Cowboys offense? Friday. Got y'all covered. All right. Hey, Kelvin, I know. Before I say something, see, I've been slipping up all day. Let me go ahead and press this thing before I say something else.
Push the goddamn button. Push the goddamn button.
I'm getting in trouble. Shorty said you be going on a walk with your cousin. Oh, man. Hey, yo, soon as actually, I think it's up and running. I got another sponsor. Wait till, if the Cowboys win, the walks are going to be fun. That's all I'm going to say about that. The Cowboys get the dub this week. We going to have some fun on this walk, man. We out of here. Hey, too broke. They all, them Teslas also drive and park themselves too, right? Appreciate you, Ride Trap. I guess things change, but I still turn down my music. Aliens. Special K, we not America's team, we the universe's team, huh?